Bonjour from Paris.
We made it to France.
Today is actually our fourth day in France, but our first day in Paris. In our last vlog, you saw us take the bus and come across from the UK into France.
That was a very interesting border crossing. We took a bus actually. The interesting bit was that the bus went on a train and then the train went underwater. It crossed the English Channel and came onto mainland France.
Yeah,
That's like the most interesting border crossing ever.
The first time we've ever done something like that. By the time we reached Paris, it was around 10 p.m. and my uncle who lives in France actually came over to pick us up from the station and drove us to his home about an hour and a half southeast of the city. And we got to spend the last 4 days with him and his family in a place called Fontainebleau.
The last 4 days we have been exploring old medieval towns. We have been hiking in the forest, all in the countryside, very beautiful nature. We have had so many croissants already.
Yeah, and it was just a very nice time because we also got to meet him after a very, very, very long time.
And then when you can leave it on the side, and then when you're
ready to put another
Put
one,
another
just
one.
put another one
Okay.
and you pull it back.
okay. And what's that?
And we got to experience a lot of French culture while there with his family. And then today we decided to come explore the city.
The plan for the day. We're going to be exploring Paris by foot. So it's going to be a lot of walking today.
We're starting here at the Arc de Triomphe, and we just learnt a little bit about this monument. It's actually the Arch for Triumph, or a victory arch that was built back in the 1800s. It was commissioned by Napoleon, and this arch bears a lot of interesting sculptures of various people who represent all of the warriors, all of the soldiers who fought for France and won. So all of that struggle is depicted there, and they even have very intricate details on the roof of this arch. It's pretty cool. It's actually very big. I think it's kind of bigger than the one we have back home in India, the
India
Gate
in
Mumbai.
Bombay.
There's too much traffic here, but it's so cool to be in Paris.
Yeah.
There, here.
It's right here.
Hello kids, the Eiffel Tower, hiding behind the buildings. We just started walking down from Arc de Triomphe, and we're right now on this very famous street called Champs-Élysées.
Where we see all branded fancy shops lined up one after the other.
You can see Dior, Chanel, Montblanc.
McDonald's.
There's some McDonald's here as well. Okay, so Shish and I are still getting a hang of the French way of pronouncing names. So we've learned that a lot of the last syllable sounds, you don't make them when you speak in French. So it would be restaurant.
And there's more emphasis on the vowels. People like to pronounce the name.
One example could be, we all know it as Paris, but the actual way to say the name is Paris. We just walked down Champs-Élysées and then we got to this square. It's supposed to be one of the largest squares in the whole of France, one of the largest squares in the city of Paris. It's called the Place de la Concorde.
And there are so many statues on all its sides. A big grand fountain right in the center. And behind us, right
Yes, sir.
there, is something from Egypt. It's from Luxor.
This is called the Obelisk of Luxor. It was actually brought here apparently 200 years ago as a gift from Egypt, and it's completely made of stone, but there are a lot of hieroglyphics on the sides, and at the very tippy top there's a very small but very golden looking edge. We are now on Pont Alexander III. It's a bridge connecting the two sides of Paris. And this river behind us, this is River Seine, the most important river in the Parisian area. And all those little boats, they're going up and down the river across all the monuments. We learned that this is one of the most beautiful places to walk around at night. But that hasn't stopped anyone from coming here even during the day. It's one of the busiest places I've been in all day.
It's got a baguette sandwich here. It's bread with 3 different kinds of cheese. It looks really crispy. Cheese is really popular in France and they have a really big variety of them.
This is a sandwich made with 3 cheeses, or as they call it, 3 fromage. I think one of them is definitely mozzarella cheese. The other one is Gouda, and I don't know what the other one is, but there were 2 whites, and 1 white, 1 yellow, and 1 orange. But there's no spices, there's no flavor, it's just the cheese. So that's why the man in the shop, he gave us a little bit of mustard. Tastes a bit more strong now.
Well, there was goat cheese in the sandwich and I didn't quite like it.
Yeah. I think we had a bit of a higher expectation for that little sandwich shop. But then now we're off to find something else.
Yeah.
Maybe, yeah.
The croissant or macaron.
Croissant? After the really bad sandwich, we decided this can't be the first day we eat in Paris. So we went back to another shop, then we got some more food. So the plan is, before we show you the food, the plan is that we walk up to the Eiffel Tower and sit somewhere in the gardens below and enjoy that meal.
Picnic time.
And as we've been walking across the city, the Eiffel Tower had been getting taller and bigger and closer until we finally made it to this end of the park. So we just have to walk across this park and the tower should be right there. So it looks like the lawns are closed off from the public to sit on and have food. So I guess in the summer you're allowed on the lawns, but in winter it stays fenced off and we can't really go there and picnic. So we've got a nice little seat looking at the tower right in front of us, and we've got our delicious Parisian lunch. What have we got?
We've got a croissant from a bakery. We went to one of the small markets and picked up a melange bowl. So we have a mix of couscous, some sweet potato soup, some avocados, some beetroot salad, some tofu salad, some fried corn. It's a pretty good mix. And for both of these, we paid around 6.7 euros, so around 750 Indian rupees.
If you like sandwiches, Paris has some really nice sandwiches. France has some really nice sandwiches. We've had a lot of vegetarian food while at our uncle's home. In the city though, it's not so easy. We haven't really found that much of vegetarian variety when it comes to sandwiches at what they call boulangeries. These are like small bakeries that probably family run, small businesses where they make fresh baked goods every single day. So one of the things you get there are fresh baguette breads, and then some of them are made into sandwiches. That's the one we tried to have earlier this morning, and it didn't quite go well because it was just cheese and we wanted some more. Most of the other options have meat in it. It's basically beef or pork or chicken, which Shish and I don't eat. So this is the second best alternative we could find, and that's why we got it.
Now we have a picnic with the view. The salad is cold and nice. It's mixed with yogurt. Avocados are soft and ripe. You will like the sweet potato soup. It's really thick and creamy. The couscous is nice. It's mixed with a little bit of chickpeas. And it has a savory taste. And this looks like gobi manchuri. But it's actually tofu. But I'm curious to see how it tastes. Not bad. It's actually spicy and nice. You should have picked more of this. So this is croissant, the staple food in Paris. I like how it appears, the texture of it. It's glazed on top and the swirls are so clearly defined. Look how flaky it is. And so soft. Nice.
So one of the things we've really realized in our first impressions of Paris is that it's a very, very diverse place. Over the last few hours of walking around in the city center, we have seen people from possibly everywhere on the planet. It's a variety of different kinds of hairstyles, different kinds of skin tones, different accents, and it quickly tells you there are people from so many different parts of the world all just coming here. Many of them actually live here, many of them are tourists, so it's a very, very diverse place. And I guess that also reflects in all the food that's available in the city. We've already seen so many different cuisines, so many different restaurants, and a lot of different kinds of street food. And one thing we particularly notice is that there's a lot of people from Francophone Africa that have come to live here, probably from a very long time ago. So these could be people from countries along the western coast. So Western Africa, that's Sierra Leone, Senegal, Mauritania, Morocco, and even Northern Africa, like Algeria, Morocco, Tunisia. They're all pretty close geographically, and so a lot of people came here during or maybe after the times when France had colonized that part of the world.
Well, there's another secret we need to tell you. It's not Navneet's first time in Paris. It's actually his second time. He has been here before and he has seen the Eiffel Tower without me. He came here 12 years ago.
Well, Shish is here now and she's evened out the country count. This was the one thing that was bothering her a lot. This one, Germany and Austria. I didn't come here alone. I saved money for a whole year from my internship and used that money to buy a flight ticket. That's all I could afford. And then when I came out here to Europe, I stayed with my cousins who live in Germany. You might be seeing them shortly.
Yeah.
And that's it. I came here. I got to see the Eiffel Tower, but Shish was unfortunately not
I
here.
was busy studying.
This was long before we got married. It's also the only trip I've done internationally without Shish. Everything else.
He has been to Uzbekistan also alone. Just
we
not
evened
this
that
one.
out. We evened that out. Shish was in Uzbekistan.
Well, now
years
I
ago.
have a question for you. Did you like visiting Paris when you were a bachelor or with me as a husband?
I guess you'll never know the answer to that.
Come
will you?
on, you need to answer.
We have now made it to the base of the Eiffel Tower, and this part of the garden is
It's actually open. We should have come till here to do our picnic.
But it's so cool. Look, Eiffel Tower. Somebody has converted this tree into a little wardrobe. Coat hanger. Few quick facts about the Eiffel Tower that we just learned. The Eiffel Tower was originally built as an arch to a trade fair that happened in these grounds way back in 1889. But then, for the next 20 years or so, it was used as a radio tower, and then people were so impressed with its performance that they decided not to dismantle it, and it continued to stay on. And for 41 years, this was the tallest building in the world. But you know what's interesting?
The height at that time was only 300 meters. And you know, even now, based on the temperature, the tower actually increases its height or decreases by up to 6 centimeters.
So because we're in winter, I bet it's a bit shorter right now. And the structure is made entirely out of iron. And every 7 years, they paint it to prevent it from getting rusted. And then they have 2.5 million rivets that are holding this entire thing together. That's a lot of nuts and bolts.
And we learned that Gustave Eiffel actually had an apartment at the top. I wonder if he's on couch surfing. I would like to write a request.
Right there at that very top. And you see that little elevator there. That's the one that goes up all the way from the bottom to the top. and it's a pretty expensive ticket that this time Shish and I are not doing because of our budget. So the view from up there is actually quite nice, especially in the evenings.
Well, he would know it very well because he's already been up there.
Anyways, Shish doesn't really want to go upstairs and see it this time.
I would love to go upstairs, but it will cost too much.
So they do have a free entrance to the Eiffel Tower, but it's only to the base level. But it's really cool. You can go walk up right under the Eiffel Tower and look all the way up to the top. So these are all the different colors the Eiffel Tower was painted in. This being the latest color, which is on now. So this is the current color, which is like a greenish brown, this shade. But I can't imagine how it looked when it was bright red and built. The lights have just come on at the Eiffel Tower. So the Eiffel Tower supposedly has 20,000 bulbs. All of them have gone on right now. And in a few minutes, it could dazzle. It's starting.
Bonjour from Paris.
Welcome to India Gate, Mumbai. Kind of looks similar, but this one's, I guess, a bit more. This is called the obelisk. Shishira wants to walk around in Champs-Élysées.
Alright. I think I'm filming bloopers today.
You can probably guess which brand this one is. But look at the building. The entire building is shaped like one of their bags.
It's crazy, brother. What is this big bag sitting on the road?
The sandwich could have been a little better. The sandwich wasn't as... No. We really had... No. How do you say it?
Well, there was goat cheese in the sandwich and I didn't quite like it.
Yeah. We saw these little memes on the internet that said when somebody from India went into a bakery in France, they said the word croissant and they managed to get a croissant. So we're going to give it a try today as well. You see the little parrot?
Oh, yeah.
The parrot is there.
On top of this tree here, that's the parrot. Yeah.
This one closer.
Alright.
Where is it?
Washed. It's there. But still, little more. That's.
ಯಾರ್ರೀ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕನಾ? ಬನ್ನಿ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ.